You want it louder? Okay. Uh, Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, October 4, 2022. I call this regular meeting to order at 6:34 p.m. Pledge allegiance led by Councilmember Rivera.
Please stand. Face the flag. Put your hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Ding,
Here.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Here.
Councilmember Menchaca,
Here.
Councilmember Rivera,
Here.
Councilmember Wu.
Here. Closing section report. Our city attorney will now give the closing section report from a special meeting held earlier tonight.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, council members. Council considered 2 items listed on the agenda in closed session, and no reportable actions were taken by the council. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will now have some announcement from our chief city clerk.
Tonight's meeting is live streamed on Cable Channel 3 and our online platforms. If you wish to address the City Council during tonight's meeting, we request that you please complete a speaker's card and hand it to the clerk. When speaking, please state your name for the record. If you wish to be added to the distribution list to receive City Council agendas, please email your request to cityclerk@sgch.org.
Number one, approve agenda order. Are there any objection to the agenda order? I hear none. Agenda order is approved. Next item, please.
Presentation, Police Employee Introductions and Promotion. Police Chief Harris will make the presentation.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, members of council. We are here to bring on some new folks to our team. And as you can see by the folks behind me, the city hall's never been safer. Rest of the city, we're gonna have to go out there and take care of business. As you know, we have a tradition in this city of bringing our folks in and introducing all of our new folks to the council and the community. Very important for folks to know who it is that's gonna be coming out here providing that exemplary service. And today, we have quite a few. We've had to hold off on some for logistical purposes, but now we're back to doing it live and getting things done. So it's a real proud moment, certainly for me and for the folks and their families here who are gonna be introduced to you today. So the first group that we're gonna introduce are some of our professional staff and our brand new police captain, who actually doesn't start till the 8th, but we're gonna introduce him to you today. So I'll have them come up. We got Captain Eddie Brock, or soon to be Captain Eddie Brock. We still have to call him Chief because he is the chief of Arvin, California, up in the Kern County. We can have him come on up. We have a volunteer, Joseph Wong, who's with us today. Hey, Joseph. Brand new record specialist, but not brand new to us, near and dear to our heart, is Corrine Aguilar. Don't be scared. All right, and our brand new dispatcher, Zelene Zaragoza, is with us as well. We're gonna have you guys stand right up there and face this way, if you will. If you don't mind. We want everybody to see you the way you started. All right, the first introduction is our soon-to-be Captain Eddie Brock. Eddie James Brock recently served as the chief of police in Arvin, California, and for the past 18 months. Prior to serving in that position, Eddie served for 27 years in the San Diego Sheriff's Department and retired from there honorably. He held many positions as he progressed through the ranks, such as detentions, patrol, traffic, motors, weapons training, K-9, just to name a few. Prior to joining the law enforcement profession, Eddie served as a United States Marine and as an M60 tanker and Marine Embassy guard. high-speed positions in the United States Marine Corps. In 2012, Eddie graduated from the FBI National Academy, class 250. He actually beat me by about 13 classes. I'm from 263, but I won't hold that against you. He has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Administration of Justice from the National University, and he is a proud member of the inaugural cohort of the University of San Diego's Law Enforcement and Public Safety Leadership Program, where he earned a master's degree, a Master of Science degree. He's got a strong commitment to strengthening our core role in our profession, which is that of the police officer, and providing knock your socks off service. His philosophy is dedicated to enhancing this title through training, education, and accountability. Eddie brings the work towards, his title covers the multitude of concepts of the cops should be doing, of what cops should be doing, and we appreciate that. Officers will always be encouraged to be proactive on calls, address all issues you find, and help people protect their dignity. Eddie enjoys reading, football, music, barbecue smoking. I was going to separate it and say he enjoys smoking, but we don't want to go there, right? So it's barbecue smoking, all right? You have some of that in common with our city manager, who could put his foot in a brisket, yes? All right. Certainly socializing and several other activities. He's married to his loving and supportive wife. How do you pronounce your name? Phaedra. I like it. I'll never forget it again. And for 20 years, and they have 2 children. So welcome, Eddie Brock. Also here up front is one of the most important positions we have in our police department, and that is the position of volunteer. Those people who will come and give of themselves without pay and really give back to the organization is a value added for us in our community. And we have Joseph Wong. Joe is the newest member in the San Gabriel Police Department. Born and raised in Hong Kong, he speaks Cantonese and Mandarin fluently. He's currently employed with the Pasadena Unified School District as a district security guard. Before that, he was a security supervisor for Hong Kong International Airport and Ritz-Carlton in Hong Kong. We're going to be calling on you for that one. We might need some services. Besides volunteering his time with us, he is a volunteer at the Security Bureau of Hong Kong as a civil aide for the past 27 years. Please welcome Joseph Wong. Next to him, as I said, someone near and dear to our heart, coming over from the HR section to the police department, is Corrine Aguilar. Corrine began her career with the city of San Gabriel in that human resources department back in 2017. She's always had an interest in police work. She grew up in a law enforcement household. Her father's a 30-year veteran of the Los Angeles Police Department. Although she's has only been with the Records Bureau for a month, she is eager to learn more about the many functions of the police department, and in her free time, she likes going to Dodger games. They happen to be doing well, so you're pretty happy right now. All right, she also enjoys hiking, working out at the gym, and hanging out with family and friends, so please join me and welcome Corrine Aguilar to our family. Next up is our dispatcher, newest dispatcher, which is Zelene Zaragoza. And Zelene is a lifetime San Gabriel City resident, so I think that really, we should give her an applause. Because it's good for the folks that are born and raised here to come on and work here and continue the tradition of really just being a part of our community. And so this is a wonderful thing for her and certainly for us. She graduated from San Gabriel High School and furthered her education at East Los Angeles College. She obtained her associate's degree in administration of justice and plans to continue her education at Cal State LA. Before starting her career here, she worked at a law firm as an office manager for nearly a decade. Zelene is passionate about helping others. She volunteers at Walk with Sally and Camp Aaron, where she mentors children impaired by cancer. Recently, she had, let me check this, I'll make sure I'm reading it right. Recently, she and her boyfriend founded, and you're gonna have to help me pronounce it. That's it, right there. Amor de Línea, all right? An organization emphasized in helping local orphanages in Baja California and those working at the Otay borderline. During her free time, she enjoys going to the beach and catching a nice sunset. She loves being an auntie to her niece and nephew and spending quality time with her friends and family. Zelene feels honored to serve the community she grew up in and is excited to embark on her new role as a police dispatcher. So we present to you Zelene Zaragoza. As the senior member of this group, we're going to invite, or the soon-to-be senior member of this group, we're going to invite Captain Eddie Brock up to say a few words.
Honorable Mayor, council members and staff, and my fellow cohort here, and to the city of San Gabriel, thank you for this opportunity. It's been a long time coming. There were some difficult times up in Kern County, but a very steep learning curve, and was a great experience up there. I learned a lot from it. But when I learned of the opportunity to pair up with a chief of the caliber of Chief Harris, who I knew before he became the chief, he was in my cohort at University of San Diego in the graduate program. This was a guy where you always went to check your stuff as we submitted our work, and we were in different parts of the dialogue to see where we were bringing value to the class. His experience over at his previous department as well as mine was a bit of a challenge. If we weren't in the same cohort during that particular time, I always asked my friends who was paired up with Harris to see where our stuff fit in, and we always wanted to make sure we were contributing. So this opportunity here was something to be capitalized on. You have very little control. The only thing you can do is submit and compete against the other competition. And I'm very, very grateful that it worked out in my favor. But I also know some great competition that came from San Gabriel. I'm looking forward to pairing with them, developing them, and making sure that we have the same goal and have multiple common goals that have multiple victories on the front. If I'm winning, that means someone's losing, and that's not what I'm about. It should be something to where we all make out, because we want to move for the betterment of people. One of my main theories, one of my main philosophies is peace officers are exactly that. And we have a tendency to be educated by the public and by Hollywood that we are something else, and it's not true. And I'm going to make sure that our men and women understand what it means to be a peace officer. I'm going to hold them accountable as they hold me accountable, and we're going to keep the chief in the best position possible, which means the city will be in the best position possible from a law enforcement perspective. It's not always what people want it to be, but the right thing is always good for all of us. And I'm going to show the city and the community with a lot of support what that looks like. So I thank you for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to getting started. This is the longest Monday of my life. I'm very excited about what I see happening here, and I'm very excited to be a part of it. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey, you already got the job, man. It's all good. All right, if I can, I'm going to invite a representative from Susan Rubio's office. She has a couple of proclamations that she wants to read for some of these folks.
Hello, my name is Laura Brantley, and I'm here on behalf of Senator Susan Rubio's office, who represents State Senate District 22, including San Gabriel. Thank you so much to the City Council for having us here this evening, and to our newest inductees. Your accomplishments are plentiful and broad. Congratulations. In order to honor your accomplishments, we have several certificates of recognition for you from the California State Senate. And I will read one of them for you. I'll keep it brief. I know we're all excited to come and greet you. On behalf of the California State Senate, it is my privilege to award you with this certificate in recognition of your recent installation to the San Gabriel Police Department as officers. Thank you for standing up to crime and bravely answering the call to protect and serve the families of the San Gabriel Valley. Thank you again. Thank you.
And if I may, I'd like to invite the council down to take a quick picture with the group. We set it up so we only have to do this twice. So. Usually council member Menchaca organizes everybody. So. All right. Awesome. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to have you guys hang out in the back. You're going to be taking a picture here shortly. Thank you guys for being up. Okay, next we have the ceremonial swearing in of some of our newest officers and promotees. And so I'd like to call up some of our newest officers, which is Andrea Fuentes, Officer Irelia Garcia, and Sergeant Tim Logan. All right, we're going to start with Officer Fuentes. Step forward a little bit. Everybody knows which one you are. There we go. Andrea grew up in Orange County. She attended the Rio Hondo Police Academy, class 184. That means she's old. I mean seasoned. We love her. We're good. We're good. She graduated from Cal State Long Beach with a bachelor's in criminal justice and a minor in psychology. She has 14 years of law enforcement experience from the city of Alhambra and is now part of our family. She is a mother to 3 beautiful children, Emma, Lila, and Michael, who she strives to do the best for every day. In her free time, she enjoys going to the beach, country music concerts, sporting events, and exercising. And today, it's going to be those kids, those wonderful children, that are going to come up and proudly pin the badge on their mom. So let's have them come on up. I'm going to assume you're Michael. All right, go ahead and lead the way on up, my friend. We do hugs around here. I think I might have done this out of order and we should have sworn them in before we put the badge on, but I'm going to continue with this flow and we'll just get them sworn in once you're done. We'll make it work. All right, next up is Irelia Garcia. Irelia was born in the city of San Bernardino. She is a first-generation Mexican-American who was born into a hardworking migrant family of 6. In her adolescent years, Irelia worked alongside her family in the construction business where she developed her work ethic and skills. She is family-oriented and loves the outdoors. Irelia attended the California State University of San Bernardino and obtained her Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology. That's a scary thing. Right? She's always trying to analyze everybody. Irelia's prior law enforcement experience is from being a cadet to an officer with the Fontana Police Department. She attended the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Academy, class 222. She joined the field of law enforcement with a primary goal to work with youth as a mentor and help redefine them from bad path. She hopes to promote within the San Gabriel Police Department and become a field training officer to help guide recruits on their journey. And for this momentous occasion, it is her sister Marisol who will pin on her badge. So Marisol, come on up. And last but not least, a promotion I still can't believe I made. Whew, hold on. Check myself here. All right. Before you, we have Sergeant Tim Logan. Tim began his law enforcement career at the age of 14 as a police explorer with the San Gabriel Police Department. At 21, he was hired at the San Marino Police Department as an officer and served the San Marino community for 4 years. Knowing San Gabriel was always his home, and he wanted to move over to an extraordinary police department, he moved over to San Gabriel and has been here with us ever since. He came back to us in 2014 to our department, where he has since served in a variety of assignments. Tim has served as a patrol officer, field training officer, property crimes detective, special enforcement team detective, investigating narcotics, gangs, and vice-related crimes. and task force detective assigned to LA Impact, where he worked with the famous Group 25. For those who don't know, LA Impact is an interdiction team that covers LA County. He was on the team that is the highest speed team that they have. It's called Group 25. And so if you were looking at the military, that would be the group in LA Impact. That's the Navy SEALs. That's the equivalent. Very hard charging unit, very statistically driven to go out here and provide extremely effective law enforcement service, taking a lot of really, really bad people to jail, and making sure that folks that are in these communities are really safe. So we're very proud of him and his representation of the police department. It was an awesome, awesome job that he did there before we brought him back, and I erroneously checked the yes box on his promotion. I'm just joking, brother. I'm just joking. Let's see here. He's also been the Employee of the Month. He's earned 2 CHP AAA Grand Theft Auto Recovery Awards and 5 Mothers Against Drunk Driving DUI Enforcement Awards, all awards that are hard to come by. Tim currently holds a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice Management and is planning to go back to school next year for his master's degree in Public Administration. That's a very important piece because in this police department, education is very important. We stress that if you want to get better at the critical thinking piece, formal education has to be a part of your formula. So although in some instances it's not mandated with the promotional process, in any competitive process, it's certainly something that could help push you over the edge. And so that continued education is very important. In his free time, Tim enjoys traveling, politics, giving back, and spending time with those nearest and dearest to him, especially his 2 godsons, Stephen and Alden. His grandmother, Rose, who's here with us, will be pinning on his badge today. I'll tell you how, why don't we do this, Rose? Why don't you stay here and we'll have him come to you? How's that work? Does that work? He's gonna come over here to you and he'll come up. Still can't believe I did it. This is your chance. All those things he did while he was younger. Just stick him with it. Awesome. Okay, very briefly, certainly as forward-facing public figures within our police department, we're going to have each one of our new sworn personnel come up and just say a few words, and we'll start in the order we introduced them. So come on up, Andrea.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity and having us here. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be a member of the San Gabriel Police Department and excited to continue my career with San Gabriel and serve the community. Thank you so much for having us here.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for this opportunity. Let's start that again. Hello, good evening. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm grateful to be here. I hope to expand my career here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Good evening. Thank you very much for having us and for this opportunity to serve our community. One day I hope to be in this guy's shoes, so that'll be 20 years from now. So look forward to working with all of you guys in the community. Thank you.
Closing out the presentation, you guys can have a seat. Thank you. Closing out the presentation, I just want to make sure that everybody in the community understands how very proud we are of the new folks that are joining our family. As you can see behind me, they garner the respect of the folks in the police department. They are here to support our brothers and sisters in blue. And it's going to be a really, really good day as we move forward and start filling our ranks with people as wonderful as these. They are currently out in the field protecting the folks of this community and doing an outstanding job. And we're just going to keep marching forward. So thank you, folks, for all that you've done to help us get in this position. And I thank everybody here who's here in the audience supporting our police department and supporting our people. And I think Councilmember Chaka wants something to say. Oh, I forgot about that part. Come on, I'm having issues. I'm losing sleep. I'm tired. Come on back up so we can swear you in. I've been swearing at him all day, so I forgot they need to be sworn in. No problem. It's your show, Sharon. Stay here. Stay here. Stay here. Now we can come down for one more picture from the council. I knew I'd get it right at some point. If you can come on down, folks, we'll take a good picture with the group. And Tim, if you can stay up, Tim. The rest of you can go, just Tim up here. We've got one more from Susan Rubio's office to give to the sergeant for his promotion. And she'll come on up and give that now.
You're a tough act to follow, Chief Harris. You know, I was going to read this certificate, but all of your contributions are so immense to our community. The world can be such a scary place, and you all have done so much to make us feel so safe, to make our office, our team, our city feel so safe. So I'm not going to waste your time. I simply am just going to say thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Congratulations the new officer and the promoted officer too. And thanks all the officers here and the audience too. And the officers, today I feel really safety too. Okay, keep our city safety. Thank you all. Okay. And public comments.
This is the time set aside for members of the public to address the City Council on items of interest that are not on the agenda but are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the San Gabriel City Council. If you wish to address the Council, please fill out a speaker's card and hand it to the clerk. And our first speaker this evening, Mr. Mayor, is Chastity Jennings Nunez.
Good evening. I'm Chastity Jennings Nunez, a resident, and I am appreciative that I'm here tonight, although I do appreciate the city clerk and her office and the wonderful job they do reading our public comments. It would certainly take me over 3 minutes to convey my frustration and disappointment with the outcome of the September 20th City Council meeting concerning Agenda Item 7B. But I was particularly concerned that Vice Mayor Harrington would use his voice and position of privilege and trust as a local government official to cast doubt and question the validity of the Los Angeles County Registrar Recorder County Clerk's office because the outcome of the Gascon recall effort was not what he supported. The LA County Clerk's office did their job and evaluated the over 700,000 signatures submitted on the Gascon recall petition and discovered that yes, 27% of them were invalid and needed to be disqualified. Vice Mayor Harrington tried to imply that they were disqualified because I's weren't dotted and T's weren't crossed, and while a percentage of those were disqualified because their signature did not match their voter registration, the majority were disqualified because the signers were not registered voters, not LA County residents, and 22% of signatures were disqualified because they were duplicates. Vice Mayor Harrington went on to say that he did not believe that the recall attempt represented a democratic process. This is the same dangerous rhetoric that has led to the January 6th insurrection, the same rhetoric that has a significant minority of the country questioning the validity of our democratic institutions, and the same rhetoric that has made many very knowledgeable experts on the rise and fall of democracies state openly that the November 8th election is a fight for the survival of democracy in America. Vice Mayor Harrington, provoking comments like the ones you made, I now expect from some of our national leaders, but it was eye-opening to hear them so close to home. On October 19th at 6:30 p.m., the online and print publication coloradoboulevard.net is sponsoring a San Gabriel City Council candidate forum at the Grapevine Arbor. It will be moderated by the League of Women Voters Pasadena and I appreciate Debbie Kilgore reaching out to me to volunteer to help with the event. All 7 candidates have received invitations to participate, and I hope that every one of you will agree to participate and allow the public to learn more about you. I also hope that each of you as current City Council members will support the democratic process and encourage resident attendance so that you can be informed voters on November 8th. For those City Council candidates who have incorporated the theme of change, forward progress, and inclusion into their campaign platforms, that is exactly what many of us are looking for. Council members who are able to be innovative and outside of the box thinkers as we address the difficult issues facing our city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Debbie Kilgore.
Hello. On September 20th, the last council meeting, I mentioned election signs to make sure they are placed properly, not like hundreds of signs from 2020 that had to be removed by our Public Works Department, and we had to pay for that. So this week, I've already found signs illegally placed. And there are rules and regulations that each candidate is handed right here, and there are pages regarding election signs. So there is no excuse for any candidate, and there's several people sitting up here right now, and there's other people that have placed signs illegally. So I have a present for you guys. Miss Raya, she's not here. John Wu, I took these off the fence, the railroad fence on San Gabriel Boulevard. Raya, Karina, I already took one down for Jose Herrera. And he said, well, I didn't know about it. This packet right here talks about placement of signs and where they're appropriate. There is no excuse for anybody running for council member to have signs illegally placed. Today, I went to Public Works. I talked to Jerry Ramos, and he said, basically, from the inside of the curb up the property 10 feet. There may not be a sidewalk there, but the parkway to 10 feet inside the curb are illegal places to do it. So you guys need to be responsible. Overall, it's your campaign, your managers, your people working for you. You are totally responsible for illegal placement of these signs. And I've posted pictures of these signs on nextdoor.com. There is no excuse. The other thing is, I heard from someone about 2 council members that were intimidating an 80-year-old today, that made him, they took down the signs from other people running and intimidated them and put their own signs up in there. That is not appropriate for council members to do. Thank you. You can have the signs back to Public Works.
Our next speaker is Dave Barella.
Hello, thank you very much. I'm here on behalf of a number of tenants at the Universal Shopping Plaza at 140 West Valley Boulevard here in San Gabriel. Specifically concerning the staff report involving the precise plan of design, the PPD, that was the subject of the hearing at the meeting of March 28th, 2022. And what needs to be brought to your attention is the fact that the plan that was submitted does not indicate how long the remodeling of this plaza is going to take. What has occurred, and what this council needs to understand, is that the owners of the shopping plaza are intimidating the tenants by letting them know, and this started about 6 months ago, that there's no need to renew the lease because we're presenting a plan for remodeling with the council. And now that they've done that, the tenants who want to have their leases renewed, they're being told that we're not going to renew the lease. The plan doesn't indicate how long the remodeling is going to take, but what's been told to the tenants is that it's going to be 18 months. And that if you don't move, you can continue to operate your business as long as you pay rent, but it's going to be so messy, so dusty, you're not going to have any businesses. And if you live through this, by the time it comes to renew your lease, we're going to charge you 3 times the amount. So there's a number of tenants here that are going to voice their specific concerns. One of the tenants received an email. I just read it here. It's on her phone, but one of the tenants received an email basically saying that you have a 3-day notice to pay rent or quit for the September and October rent, and if you don't, you're going to be charged 150 times your monthly rent. 150 times is what she's told she's going to be charged by failing to vacate. She was told previously, months ago, don't renew your rent because we're trying to work this out with the city of doing the remodeling, then we'll restructure your rental agreements. So as I said, it's an orchestrated attempt by the owners of this plaza to really force the existing tenants who have been there for years, many have been there for years, to force them out. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Simon Lee.
Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, and City Councils, good evening. Simon Lee, architect. I have been in this plaza for almost 30 years, and my rental has been paid more than $2 million. But now I was not even notified to leave, but that I heard all the neighbors are forced to move out. And the trouble is the proposal, the owner's proposal has no never shared with any tenant and never informed us formally that they're going to do the remodel of the project. And even the process of the city process to either design review board or planning commission, none of our tenants being notified. There will be such a meeting so we can express our opinion or our point of view or how much that we possible will be suffered. And as architect, make it short, you know, in my opinion, that if the project remodel can take stages and portions such as phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, that will minimize the impact of the entire plaza and the entire tenant. Without an opportunity to share the idea of all the tenants and the possible suffering that each tenant going to be, that this project was approved. And I don't feel that's fair. I even don't feel that's legal. And I'd like to share with you this project was designed by my office 30-some years ago. And we got reported by LA Times positively, very nicely. And I still own the copy of that LA Times 30 years ago. Certainly, the remodel project that I necessary to use my office to do a service. The owner has his right to choose his own architect. Right now, this is no longer the same owner that we are facing to. Now it's Roger Chen's son who is in charge now. Thank you so much.
The next speaker is Bin Hong.
translator for Mr. Ben Hong. Yes.
I company is Five Star Seafood Restaurant。好吧，3月28號嘅通過，我係完全唔知道嘅。
With respect to the March 28, 2022 hearing, I have no idea about it. I don't know about it at all.
所有呢個 city 呢個Focus Plaza 嘅規劃啊，同埋咩，我係完全冇收到任何通知。
Regarding the project, I never received any notice at all. Either in the mail or in person at all.
我喺呢個 Plaza 16年。
I've been in this plaza for 16 years, and I own a big seafood restaurant.
我嘅 lease 係到2026年底。
I have an active lease until 2026, January of 2026.
如果佢而家話 remodel， 咁我哋會好大嘅損失，因為我哋係 Five Star 係聖基表嘅地標，華人嘅地標，同埋咧我哋有好幾十個 employee。
If they if they continuing with the project, doing the remodeling, my business will be destroyed, totally destroyed.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Kiang Min. Jiang Min.
Translator for this.
你好，我喺呢個 Plaza 開咗14年。
I've been in this plaza for over 14 years.
我哋嘅店咧係美容店。
I owned a beauty shop.
喺2020年咧，我哋嘅租約滿咗啦。
My lease was ended 2020.
2020 8月。
August of 2020.
我要求續約，佢哋話換 management， 所以唔續約。
I was requested to renew the lease. However, the property manager did not cooperate and did not want to renew her lease.
但由於我哋係做美容嘅，所以呢2年我哋係冇辦法做生意，因為要口罩令。我哋係面對面，所以喺我哋冇得做生意情況，我哋仍然俾晒房租。
Because my business is a beauty salon, and because last 2 years, because of the COVID, so the business is really bad.
係唔準開添。
And
mask 對 mask， 我哋
as a matter of fact, because we have to wear the mask, so we actually was ordered to close the business.
但係佢哋收完我哋租，一直都唔同我哋講，直至而家佢話要 close 啦。
But every month we were still paying the rent, even though the business was horrible, even though the business was temporarily closed.
我哋仲係繼續俾租，而且而家佢話唔再續約，叫我
I
哋
was
走啦。
still paying the rent
我哋
anyway.
借錢嘅，仲要係嗰個 ERD 借錢，仲要還。
Actually, I was borrow the money and pay the landlord the rent every month.
我哋借嗰個 ERD 同埋俾利息嘅，今年開始還嘅，但係佢要我哋走啦而家。
And now the landlord want to kick us out.
如果我哋唔走，要付150% every month.
If I don't move out, then my rent is going to be increased to 150%. 150%?
Yeah.
Of each month?
Yeah.
Of each month. That's.
So 我哋唔知點樣做啦而家。
I don't know what to do.
So 而家我哋走唔走？如果而家我唔知我繼續借錢嚟俾佢，還是點樣做咯？我都唔知道真係。
I don't know if I should borrow additional money to continue pay the rent, to stay. So it's a big headache for my business, and it's really not fair for her business.
So 如果佢哋如果早已經知道係要 closing 嘅，應該早啲話俾我聽，我哋 should be move out earlier， 即係咁咯。
They should have let me know in advance that they're going to do something about the plaza, not the last minute.
佢哋冇就而家都冇講俾我哋聽嘅，係我哋自己內部自己咁知道啫。
Even today, I did not get any notice from the landlord at all about this project
但係佢哋後邊我哋即係嗰啲大家互相傳先知道呢件事啫嘛。
until every neighbor talk about it. That's how I found out. That's how I was realized, oh, this is a serious issue. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Elaine Su.
Hello, Mayor and City Councilman. My name is Elaine. We had a business in the Focus Plaza, and last year, around July 16, we were misled, and the landlord signed the lease. In the beginning, originally, they told us we will sign the 2 years lease because of the pandemic, COVID. So they say we only signed the 2 years lease, and then after that, we promise that we will, allow to renew the lease. And then after a couple months later, and then they said, oh, all the tenants, we're going to sign the lease just only for 1.5 years. But same thing, they promised us that we will release the lease because due to the pandemic. So I signed the lease, and we also purchased the business over there. So during the time, the manager saw us do the renovation and upgrade and didn't say anything. So we didn't even find out anything about the remodeling and also for the reconstruction for the plaza. And all the other tenants told us about it, and we didn't receive any notice from them, nothing. And the manager told me that, oh, the notice was posted by the outside the wall. So I went to there and I found out the notice was dated March this year. So the whole thing, it just, they knew what's going to happen. So they misled us to believe that, we can renew our lease. So later they say, no, we cannot give you the lease, and we have to move out by the end of January next year. So it's really unfair to us because it's a no-brainer. Why we would sign a lease that's just only 1.5 years and purchase the business. So I talked to the manager, and the manager, gave his promise to me. So that's why we signed the lease. So now we talk to them, and they, they refuse to talk to us, and we asking for, help. And the new representative just said that, oh, I'm sorry, I cannot help. So the whole thing is misled us and made us to believe that they will renew our lease. So it's really unfair. We put the money, it's $90K to purchase the business, and also about $50K to do the remodeling. So it's really unfair. Thank you.
Next speaker is Vivian Liu.
Hi, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Councilman. My name is Vivian Liu. We're from the same company. We rented since last year. I only wanted to add a point where I think this is really unethical business conduct, because I believe all the tenants here today, even including who are not here today, that we're not given a fair information about what the whole project. They got approval under the situation where we're not properly informed and given a chance to voice our concern or our situation. It really is not fair for us. And also, I think the timing is also very interesting. Very conveniently, most leases, the new leases were ended December this year. And even if, as my partner just expressed that our lease was signed a year and a half ago, right? So they wanted every penny from us for rent till the last minute. And then not ignoring the fact that all the business owner would continuously put in money for their own business, right? This is really unfair for everybody and unethical. And I would hope the city would step in to help us to deal with the situation, because we're all small business taxpayer, and they, as like a big landlord, they feel like they can do anything to us, because at the end of the day, for people who don't have a lease, right, they feel like they can do anything. Not like, at least let us know, so we know how to deal with the situation, either to find a place or not putting more money, waste money in our space, right? So we didn't even give them the chance, and their all purpose is just to get every penny out of us. So that's what I wanted to tell everybody. Thank you.
The next speaker is Dennis Leung.
I would like to ask go beyond the time a little bit, because there's some of the tenants that don't speak good English and ask me to relate a story, if it's okay with you. Just a few more minutes. Okay,
so
thank you.
So extra, how many minutes we can give it to him? Okay. So
okay.
If you said represent the several one, maybe we just give to 6 minutes. Is that okay?
That should be enough.
Okay.
Thank you. So I'm Dennis Leung. I'm one of the original tenants in the center. Like Simon, from day one I was there, and I saw the transformation of the center, and it's fantastic. Has been doing really good for us and good for a lot of the tenants. There's no doubt everybody want to have a upgrade of the center, but none of us expect that by the upgrade means 90+% of our tenants will be kicked out. Nobody think that the remodeling the center is going to hurt so many people, make us lose so many jobs, make the business go away, make the whole life saving gone. Nobody expected that with the remodel, because it's a cosmetic remodeling. When I look at the staff report that I saw. A few months ago, we spoke to the manager, the new manager, newly employed manager. I didn't know her. And she said, well, good news to you, because you are among the 4 tenants we're going to keep. One of them is obviously 99 Ranch Market, and you and 2 other. You're lucky ones, because we're going to kick everybody out. I said, that's unbelievable. How could that be possible? And Maggie said, we have ways. So I left. It didn't struck me as that. It was just, it was just a casual conversation. It's remodeling. That's fine. But time passed, and my friends and neighbors, the community, that I've known them for a long time, right? They came to me and said, Dennis, please help me. I'm stuck. I said, what's the problem? They said, I have given 2 choices. One choice is that I want to stay here. Our business is good. If I stay here, they're telling me this place is going to be almost everybody out, just a handful of people. Just like maybe 3 or 4 tenants in here, just like a ghost town. And it's going to be so messy, my restaurant is not going to do well. And I'm going to lose money for 12 to 18 months. So, if stay here, I'm going to lose a lot of money. But if I leave, then I lost everything I've invested for all these 10, some of 20 years of investment in all the blood, sweat, and tears for the property. So they're either too stubborn to leave, then they're going to face the consequence of staying in a ghost town, dusty, noisy, and lose money continuously, or they have to leave and just, like what you heard, everybody's lost. So that's why I asked for a little bit extra time, because I want to voice them. My job is, I know them, they're all my friends for so long in the community, and I owe them to help them. Now, so I noticed a pattern here. The pattern is to keep the tenants all in the dark as long as possible. Like Ming is saying, well, I don't know anything until last minute. You know, they have the remodeling, they knew about it, so I pay every penny if I knew that I have some plan to move. Restaurant owners, it's the same thing. You know, how are we gonna find a place to remodel? So they're gassed up with two bad choices. One choice is stay there and lose money for 18 years with nobody in a ghost town. The second choice is fold the business and take it as just to take a loss. And so to outline it, the pattern is to keep them in the dark, to pay rent until last minute. Tell the tenant this is unpleasant environment. I believe it, that's what they told me. You know, you can leave. It's going to be terrible, but I'm not worried because my business has been established for a long time. But many of them need the foot traffic, so you're better off leave anyway. There will be a massive hike in rent. So you know what? There will be the rent you will not be able to afford anyway, even if you stick around. If you're too stubborn to leave, you're going to face this multiple increase in rent. And the interesting part is there is no paper trail of every story that they heard. Absolutely no paper trail. Everybody heard from everybody. Phone call, including me. I was so surprised. Everything was set with nothing trail. No. And then it's oral promises from the people, the previous management, Felix, Chan, that we've known. But all of a sudden they're replaced by other agents that we didn't know, and purposely, I think, replaced by non-Chinese speaking agent, leasing agent in there. So they couldn't communicate that well because most of the tenants are first generation immigrants. They knew that. And what I'm asking is that I like the project to go on. There must be a way, I'm sure every member here, if you knew so many people are being replaced, you would not say, hey, do the cosmetic remodeling, because it seems so simple. But the simple is so many people are being removed. I think it's a fair way to hear the grievances of people directly from them, have a new hearing, so you know you can design a mitigation plan, which I think is fair, like Simon suggested, a phase-wide gradual remodeling, so we don't have to close the business. You know, they can still continue. Give them time to negotiate a lease. You know, if it's delayed, not last minute February we're going to do, give them time to negotiate a lease because the landlord won't want them to leave anyway because they are paying rent. If we was, you know, if this all spread out, give them time before the project starts. And we want to define a way to minimize the noise and dust so that people can enjoy to do business. That should be a very specific way to tell us how how we're going to minimize noises and dust, and so we have the right exposure so the business can go on. And lastly, we want to see what is the next thing. There's a reason why they want everybody out. Why? Maybe it coming from the remodeling. Maybe there's a next phase that is much bigger. And anyway, I'm done. So thanks for the extra time.
Thank you. Next one.
Yixian Ong.
Who? Okay. Okay. Yixuan Ong. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, Mayor City Council. We are here since almost 10 years for in this plaza. And then we receiving somebody is like we didn't get like paper notice. We're just keeping receiving like people's talking to us as like all different person. First, we still have the contract for our places. First, and they tell us we cannot no longer be here our location because for our location it's like a I mean, it's like a triangle or something. They want that place to be like a clothes or a shop, other shop, no longer be a boba shop. So we need to move other places. And then second time, they're telling us, no, you cannot be there at that place that we want to choosing, because there are no the all you dusty tests. So we need to move upstairs. And then they send us a different person who cannot speak Mandarin at all. So we are getting confused. And then right now, I think they're just want to try and extend the times until the last minute to talk about our leasing and then the future for our store. So I want you guys to help us. Thank you so much.
The next is Scott Huang.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Scott Huang. This is a vegetarian restaurant. I've been here in 14 years. Just a question about last year. I want to renew the contract. That my shopping center manager tell me, okay, I call the company, call the office. Then he said, oh, he changed a new manager. You waiting for new contract? I said, okay. I'm waiting for this year. Waiting for 6 months. Nothing for me. Then I hear that he want new model. I don't know why. Because we this is a restaurant. If you want new model, you have plan, you can tell everybody. Oh, I give you the 1 year or six months. Give you time. You want to rent or month by month. If you want, you can move somewhere. Because restaurant, you want to move somewhere, you need the money, need the time. Everybody know, right? Restaurant, equipment, something. Why you don't tell me? Tell me about the restaurant. Give me the time or no, right? So I say not fair for we all us the restaurant. Yeah, that's my question. Yeah, then the question everybody talking loud, right? Thank you.
Next is Jessica Chen.
Jessica is over there. She's my mom. I'm her son. Is that okay if I speak? If I speak? Yeah, my mom is Jessica Chen. She's right there. Yeah, can I speak for her? Yeah. So my mom is the owner of Longxingji Juicy Dumpling. That we make pretty big giant dumplings, and it's pretty famous on YouTube, also TikTok. So our rent is like expired like 2020, and nobody contacted us about the renewal. Yeah, and I think a couple months ago we got a contract from them, and they say if we want to keep the business, we have to do the remodel together with them. We need to pay for our own remodel, also the exterior walls and also the pipelines. Maybe it's a pretty big expense for us. Like 2 years ago, we just fixed the walk-in coolers. That's like a $30,000 job, and right now we need to spend more, and if we don't, we gotta kick out. So it's pretty unfair for us. Yeah, thank you.
The next speaker is Ya Na Lu.
Good evening, everybody.
因為我喺呢個 building 咧做咗13年啦。
I've been in this plaza for over 13 years as a tenant.
冇遲過1日交租嘅。
I always pay on time, pay my rent on time, never late.
就算係疫情嗰時咧，我哋都係每個月都係準時交租。
Even during the COVID period, my rent always on time.
但係咧，到而家咧，我都未知道個 building 要裝修。
As of today, I don't even know that the plaza is going to improve or remodel.
到今日啦， 先知道啲 neighbor 同我講話要裝修。
I found out today because my neighbors told me.
因為咧，我嘅合同咧都已經係滿咗，係好耐啦。佢同我講，我叫佢 renew， 佢都一路都冇同我 renew。
My lease agreement was expired a few years ago. I keep asking for renewal, but they did not respond to my request. They did not respond to my request.
如果佢係裝修嘅話咧，佢可以早疫情嗰2年同我哋講，我哋就唔繼續裝修同埋做落去啦。
They should have told me long ago, so I don't have to invest so much money to improve my shop, to improve my store.
特別
Because
我
I
哋
invest a lot of money to improve my place.
特別我哋做珠寶嘅，我哋疫情嗰時係完全冇生意嘅。
I'm having a jewelry business, and during the COVID period, I had no business at all.
我個情況咧，基本上同所有嘅 neighbor 都係差唔多噶啦。
My situation is the same as other neighbors. The story.
我覺得佢哋個 owner 咧都係好唔合理咯。佢裝修佢都要提前同我哋
I feel the landlord is really kind of ridiculous and really treating everybody unfairly.
到今日咧，我哋都未接到通知同埋所有嘅
As of today, I still don't get any notice from the landlord at all.
我覺得咁樣對我哋好唔公平啊！
It's really unfair. It's really damage to my business.
咁就咁啦，多謝。
Thank you so much.
The next speaker is Joanne Shin.
Hello, dear council members. Actually, I'm Dennis's wife, and I just wanted to say a couple words. As you probably heard, there's a lot of stories behind what we have heard, but one of the main things you have to remember is we have not received any written communication from the landlord regarding the remodeling. Everything is a hearsay. A lot of things were done through verbally, and even the hearing supposedly that was done in March, I'm not even sure was it done virtually. We feel that if it's going to be another hearing, we request that it be in person so you could see the sadness, the difficulty that each of the tenants have. I mean, these are real people, not someone who's filthy, rich, that has a lot of things and money to spare, but they had invested money to remodel the place, not knowing their place is going to be, I mean, no longer there. Maybe they're going to be kicked out. A lot of the tenants, as you heard, they were not led to believe that they were about to be kicked out or no longer able to renew the lease. Why would they spend that kind of money to buy a business if they're going to be there only a year and a half or 2 years, right? So these are the things that we would like you to reconsider and have another hearing in person so that they could really voice their opinions. That would be fair for everyone's involved, and we are just asking for a fair chance. Thank you very much.
I have no more cards. Is there anyone else who wishes to address council?
All right. Yeah. Thank you all the just get all the public comments. Okay. I just consulted our city attorney because the your issue is not on our agenda, but we can put up further. Let our city manager to have the put on our agenda. We can all the council member can moving forward to discuss on that. Is it okay for the? Okay. We need a motion or no? Don't need a motion, right? We're just like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. No problem. Thank you. Thank you. Mentioning it. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Okay. 我讲广东话，如果等一下请他讲广东话啊，就讲广东话，我讲国语了哈。OK， 那就是说，因为你们的 public comments 呢，就是你们的发言呢，我们都听到了，但是呢，因为是我们这个就是会议议程哈，是不在这会议议程，我们不能讨论啊，因为这个是法律规定啊，我们要提前。那么我们现在我是建议，作为 mayor 呢，我建议就是说，你们的声音我们听到了，我们希望接下来的我们就是说会议议程呢，可以把你们的这要求放在我们就是说就是公开的讨论跟 City Council 的讨论啊，希望你们能够明白哈，我们没办法今天就给你们的一个答案，好不好？啊 ，OK， 那请我们将务用广东話用再翻譯一次好了。Council member will use Cantonese.
Thank you, Mayor. I think they understand what you're talking about. 咁今日係咁樣嘅，即係我哋市長話呢，今日開會嘅議程就冇排到呢個部分，但係大家嘅聲音、大家嘅心聲我哋都聽到啦。所以呢，我哋會將呢個議程，大家幾位同事呢，我哋會將呢個議程放喺下一次開會嘅時候真正去討論。咁我會諗辦法，咁啊同大家呢就一齊再做嗰個報告。咁但係今日嘅部分呢，就多謝大家同我哋講咁多你哋嘅問題、你哋嘅立場。咁我哋會將呢個部分呢會帶入下一次開會嘅時候再做討論。多謝各位。
Okay, thank you. You no comments? Public comments?
Just a question. Should they come to the next hearing, to the next meeting?
Okay. Yeah, next meeting always welcome. If we have the public meetings, always welcome the community. They coming to listen what we discuss. 我们都是欢迎你们来，这个我们就是一个月起码有2次的那个会议，都希望我们不管是住家也好，是你就是公司的老板也好，都可以来这个听。我甚至于欢迎你们接下来听我们接下来的这个要讨论的议程。I still also welcome if you have time, you can stay here to listen the rest of our agenda to know if you can familiar our system. So always transparency. Welcome everybody to listen our council meeting. Yeah. Okay. Vietnamese.
Please look through those agendas to know when items that you're interested in are going to be on our agenda.
Thank you, Chastity. It's a reminder. Actually, start from 2020, our city not just the agenda, not just the English. We have Spanish, Chinese. Chinese have the traditional and the simplified both version, and the Vietnamese too. 所以还是欢迎大家可以到我们市政府的网站去看我们每一次的，就是说市政府我们市议会开会，其实还不止市议会开会哈，包括这个 design commission is open too, right? Design commissioner, planning commissioner 啊，还其他的here commission, community service commission, historical. I hope I can remember every commissioner to the public meeting and the public service, community service, and they have the agenda on our website. 有中文的，就包括就是我们设计的委员会，这个计划委员会，那么我们还有就是说我们关于我们多元文化的委员会，还有我们的就是公园呐这些委员会。还有我们有历史古迹的委员会，我们都是公开的行程，都有4种语言翻译，英文、西班牙文、中文有就是繁体字、简体字，那么还有就是越南文都有啊。这是从我们2020年开始，就是大家team 都听到我们的声音，我们因为是多元文化都有这个，所以。真的鼓励大家来看着我们每一次开会的议程，我们讨论什么。如果是对你的有影响你的生活的话，你 更要来，不影响生活的话，我还是建议你们来听一听啊。这是 OK， 你 OK。 Okay.
I guess my question is that is our matter will be on the next council meeting, public meeting. So that's why I was asking, should we come for the next meeting if the matter is going to be listed for the discussion?
Okay.
Yeah, placed on agenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just talked to the city manager and the attorney. Okay, so because we have meetings already scheduled, well, okay, so probably, hopefully next meeting. If not, it's first meeting for the November.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but everything have to go through the procedure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You're
Hopefully understand it. Yeah.
Honorable Mayor. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right. Yeah. 我再用中文讲一下，就是说，希望是下一次的 meeting 可以给大家来讲，应该是Okay, let me see the next meeting. It's October 18. 但是不敢保证，因为根据这个，就是因为都要走过一个议程去做哈。那么最晚可能就在 November November 8. Yeah, November 1st. Sorry, November 1st before the election. Okay, November 1st 的 Tuesday. 所以请大家告诉大家去看那个我们的市政府的会议议程都在网站上面。Jimmy, you can help to them. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I still want 你们能够再听一下下面的议程哈。如果你们忙的就走，否则的话可以听一下我们的议程，是不是 ？Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh. You also, if any question, you can talk to our economic developer, the Aldo. Aldo, can you raise the hand? Okay. All right. Okay. 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 All right. Thank you. Then next item, please.
Consent calendar. All items listed under the consent calendar are considered routine, and recommendations will be approved in one motion unless a member of the City Council or public requests separate discussion. We have not received requests from the public to pull any items. However, we do have a speaker for item 4H. Chastity Jennings Nunez. So the item is 4H. If it is pulled by a member of the council for discussion, then our speaker would like to comment on it. If not, she would decline to speak. Item
So
4H.
4H, you want to pull out separate? Okay. Okay. So any council member want to pull out?
Yes. Mayor Dean, I would like to pull out the item E, 4E, Small Business Assistance Program recap from the consent and bring it back to our future item. We can discuss later.
Okay. But first of all,
oh yes,
you answered that. I think the H is any yeah. No. Okay. And for the E, so you want a separate discussion, yes. And then it's one vote, or you want a separate vote?
Excuse me?
You want to pull it for separate discussion, or just pull it off the agenda?
No, just a separate discussion. Okay. Yes, just separate
okay,
discussion.
Just separate discussion, but the final vote is still separate vote. Okay, all right, thank you, Martin. All right, so
I'll move to approve the agenda, but excluding item E, so we can have a separate discussion.
Okay, who second?
I'll second.
Okay, all right. It's a motion made by the council member Menchaca, a second by the vice mayor Harrington. Just pull out the consent calendar item E for separate discussion. Okay. So then we just vote, right? We have to vote the consent. Please vote it. Yeah. For the yeah.
Motion passes by a vote of 5-0.
Okay. Then we back to the discussion for the consent calendar. The item E. It's called the Small Business Assistance Program recap. So who like it?
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I just read a little bit about the Small Business Assistance Program, and it's a pretty successful. But there's a result that I do notice that that how for example how helpful has the grant fund has been to their business, and there's like a less than 20% believe that it is extremely helpful, and 12.33% is very helpful. Somewhat helpful is 5.14%. And I just do a brief calculations, and I think, well, most of the people believe that $2,500 is really generous from the city. But I do also see that some of our small business owners, they are suffering from the lawsuit because there's a group of people in attorney. They are looking for some we call the ADA appliance. It's not really maybe up to date to the code, so they got a lot of loss, the letter, and sue them and asking for certain dollars amount so they can withdraw the case. I would suggest that we can discuss about either another round of the assistance program, or we probably can just have a fund that would just be, for example, accessibility grants that we can help the small business owner, especially those, we call Papa Mama shop, that they won't be able to find out what's, they probably need some grants to help them move all the facility up to today's code. I mean, so that could be another consideration. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Councilmember Wu.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to get clarification. When you mentioned those, you said 19.53, you meant 19 is the number of recipients, and then it's 53%. And then it's 12, you said 12.3, but it's 12 recipients and then 33%. Yeah. That comma is kind of hard to see, but it's a comma,
Okay.
not a period. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. If then I say, because when I get elected, the COVID-19, we have got that time called CDBG funds. Okay, we first we care air, and we do the first time the small business assistance grant, and we do the first plan, but have 2 times. Okay. Actually, the first time we go out to our 1,500 business, so I involved for this canvas, and come back like it's more than 500, and finally like 400 it's business will qualify, but at that time we don't have enough the fund. It's only 52 business get it. They really appreciate, and we do the second round, use the called American Care Act, and we have the quota. It's 70, but we still keep the original applicant to do the lottery drawing too. But actually, finally, applicant only 68, and qualified the small business it's 58. But it's still good. Yeah, that's a good job. Thank you to help this business, especially you just take over the job with changing that, right? Okay. I hear about several the mom pop the business owners. They really appreciate their long time have the business with us. They say, hey, they really appreciate the 2,500 really help. Maybe big company, it's another they think about it, but the small mom pop, it's really help. And actually that time when we discuss the second round, we also say have the really second time the plan. It's will be open the new opening for the every business if they don't have chance get this small business fund. But if they already got it, so maybe we don't, right? So, but that we can discuss. Okay, I don't proud my really opinion, but if at least I hear about it when we do the second round, the original applied people that allowed the business owner told me say, hey, they never received it this kind of the notification regarding this small business grant. So if we open again, they will be applied too. So that's the way I think council member will pull out, and actually I agree to pull out too, for the public know and also let the small business know, understand that we for our future will be also put on agenda to let a council member to discuss. So but also definitely will be based on our current financial status too, right? To how to help the small business, especially council member who mentioned the situation. Even right now, I had to say the current the public comments. I saw that some small business about get the problem too. So maybe that we can future it's put on the agenda can discuss it further. Hopefully, it can help them to go through the pandemic. Okay, thank you. So,
Mayor, yeah, I just wanted to clarify. So when we agreed on the second round, I thought we also agreed that we were all interested in doing a third round.
Yeah.
But the staff would come back. We didn't say I have a timing. I don't.
Well, we say that actually after July.
Did we say after July? Okay.
Yeah.
So after July, so we're now in October.
Yeah.
Let me ask the city manager or Aldo, when would this come back to the council so we can decide how much, or well, first of all, if we have funds set aside to do this program again, when do you think it will be put on the agenda?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. We don't have funds set aside for round what we called 2.0 when we were talking about the other round. So anything we do give would come from our city's fund balance, but that is an allowable use. That's what the ARPA funds were partially used for. So when we bring this back, we can talk about what different levels of funding would do to our reserve percentages, and then we can craft a program and council can decide at that time. And to answer your question about timing, it'd probably take us a couple of meetings to bring this back. So we would look at either probably the first meeting in December would be a realistic time frame.
Okay, because when we decided on the second round of grants, that took place. I mean, there was a very large range from like 500,000 to what we ended up deciding on, which was 175, I think it was. So, you know, that's what I would expect for us to have that range so this council could decide and see what our financial situation is too.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Mayor, but I
Councilmember
think what
Rebecca.
Councilmember Wu was talking about was assisting businesses that are getting these bogus lawsuits over these handicap, right? ADA,
yeah.
These handicap, yeah. I remember we got a lawsuit similar to that, and so I know exactly that nobody's immune to it. No small business is immune to it. But it really does come down to a lot of these small mom and pop businesses have leases. So, you know, it's not, depending on whether they have the triple net lease or not, a lot of these businesses can actually reach out to their landlords and make sure that they're the ones that have the building up to par. Because as a business, you know, you're renting or you're leasing from these, you know, from these landlords, and it is their responsibility to have ADA compliances up to date. That is if the building is not grandfathered into, you know, the older models. But I think having a fund just for that would actually open up more lawsuits to come in. Because there's people that actually go out there and just look for places too, you know? to,
Thank you.
yeah.
Councilmember Rivera, you bring out so maybe we can, yeah, because this is today we just want to move for the consent calendar for the detailed discussion you bring out. That's good point too. The Councilmember Wu is a good point too. So we can we just discuss for the future the meeting? So we'll hopefully Mark will bring on the table to we can see the what's the option, what's the different scenario. You know, we can put a future assistant. Oh, right. Okay. Is it okay? We don't need a motion.
It's a receive and file, right?
Yeah, but item E we need a motion.
We have to approve. It's a receive and file. I know, but it's part of, if you want a motion,
Okay.
But it's a receive and
Okay, but still in the consent calendar, the receiver file, so we don't need a motion? If, okay. I think would you let's go ahead to vote. Okay, it's yeah. Okay. I use the guidebook, right?
Okay, I'll move to approve item E on the consent agenda.
Okay, I second. Okay. Okay, motion by the Councilmember Menchaca, it's second by the Mayor Ding. So let's vote. Please vote.
Motion passes by a vote of 5-0.
Okay, all right. So let's have the health break, and it's fine. Coming back A15. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we'll come back, reassess the meeting, and so next site.
We have no public hearing or continued
Mm.
business this evening. Our next item is new business. Item A, Finance Department update. Finance Director Kahola Kula will make the presentation.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council. Along with David Swin, IT Manager, it's my pleasure to present the Finance Department update. We've decided to have a little bit of fun as being finance people, so if you bear with us a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, that's. So welcome to the Finance Department where everybody counts. Got the laugh, thank you. Basically two functions to the Finance Department. We got Finance and Accounting and Information Technology. There are a total of 12 employees in the department, 10 full-time, 2 part-time. Doing Finance Accounting, we have 8 employees. And doing Information Technology, we have 3 full-time employees. Department objectives. In 2014, a Pasadena City employee was arrested for embezzling $6.4 million in city funds over an 11-year period. In 2018, 10 servers of the City of Azusa Police Department were seized by hackers. With that said, the first objective of the department is security. The objectives of finance and accounting is to safeguard city assets through internal controls, monitoring, and risk assessment. We need to develop fiscal policies and procedures that ensure the financial integrity of finance operations. And then we need to ensure that those policies and procedures are implemented in our operations to ensure the integrity of our finance operations. And then on the information technology side, the first objective is to implement robust security measures to protect city information and technology infrastructure. And then from there, an objective is to provide proven information technologies to enhance internal city operations and ensure those technologies are leveraged citywide in a manner that adapts to the city business needs of all departments and the demands of the communities. So as we pursue those objectives, there are certain values that we want to maintain in place. This list of values is partially based on a survey of department employees. So first is teamwork, striving together for shared objectives, helping others. Sometimes you forget your umbrella on a rainy day. Integrity, knowing right from wrong and choosing right. Perseverance, efficiency, working smarter, not harder. Customer service, treating others like you like to be treated. Continuous improvement, never sitting on our laurels. Humility, which is the opposite of pride and arrogance. Family, could also be work family. And balance, work life and personal life both matter. So the hope is that these values will shape the actions of the department over time. Financial management is at the heart of any business or city. It is one area that can help drive a city forward, and I guess also backward as well, or poor financial management. Now I'd like to talk about the finance and accounting function and share who we are, what we do, what we've done, and what we plan to do. So this is where we have a little bit of fun. So this first group of individuals is responsible for financial reporting, financial analysis, which includes labor costing, 5-year forecasting, budget management, budget control, audit facilitation. The group also includes a key individual to safeguard city assets, also known as the gatekeeper. So here's the team, the first team.
City is awesome. means we're going on 23 years here, working in different capacity, of course. It supervises accounting, revenue, accounts payable, and the payroll function here in the finance department. I'm a gatekeeper, see where all your money coming in and out of the city, and they're properly accounted for. So I work a lot with the auditors and the departments. To say my favorite thing about the city, all the flavors you can find here. There's a lot of restaurants with all different diversity, so all types of food.
Hi, I'm Michelle Marquez, and I'm the management analyst in the finance department. I've worked for the city for 6 months now. I've been working on special projects. I turn in monthly investment reports and budget reports to city council. My favorite thing about the city is the community and the work environment here.
The next group of individuals in the finance department performs accounts payable, making sure all of the city's bills and invoices get paid. Performs payroll every 2 weeks, making sure employees get paid. Some people say this is the most important person in the city. And then we have accounting, which this person makes sure that all of the city's banks are properly accounted for and all of the grant reimbursements are received.
Hello, my name is Lauren Mack. I am accountant for the finance department. I've only been here 10 months. Again, I'm an accountant. I do various accounting tasks here new to the city. I think the city is great with regards to the community as well as the delicious Asian food.
Hi there, this is Ada Wang, payroll specialist. I process payroll, deposit tax and file tax returns, and also work on the labor cost and variety of reports. I've been working for the city a little over 10 years. Favorite things about the city is the rich history and also a variety of food in the city.
You can see from the stats in the slide that the individuals are very busy. And this next group of individuals bring in the money. They do cash receipting, accounts receivable. They also process business license and parking permits. For a large part, they make sure the city is receiving what it is owed.
Hi, I'm Julie. I'm the Revenue Services Specialist. I've been here about 8 years. I currently collect revenue that's due to the city, and the favorite thing about the city is that I get to meet different people every day.
I'm Saul. I've been here for 10 years. I'm a finance technician. I help people at the counter. Yeah, I'm on the phone every day. And my favorite thing about this place is the smells. Every box smells different.
Good job, Saul. Next, we move on to what we have done. So in addition to the daily activities shown in the previous slide, here are some highlights of what finance and accounting team has completed over the last fiscal year. Under reporting, the department has submitted 13 financial updates to the city council, including the presentation of the annual audited financial report, the mid-year budget update, the preliminary year-end financial update, as well as 10 monthly budget updates. The department completed the ARPA reporting for the year that was due for the year. As the city council knows, the ARPA really helped us with our reserves as well as provided us with some budget flexibility. And the department has submitted the annual comprehensive financial report to the Government Finance Officers Association for the GFOA award. The city has received the GFOA award for the past 31 years. Under policies and procedures, the fund balance reserve policy was revamped to include reserves for capital asset replacements, funding the OPEB liability, and funding the city's pension plan. Under financial management, the department facilitated 4 external audits, including the annual financial statement audit, the federal single audit, CDBG audit, and the MTA audit. The department facilitated City Council's adoption of the annual budget, as well as City Council's adoption of the updated fee schedule. A RFQ for investment services was completed, which resulted in an approved list of investment brokers. And the department completed the exchange of 1 million Prop A funds for 750,000 in general fund dollars during this past fiscal year. What do we plan to do? So we're not going to be like, we're not going to watch the clock. We're going to do what it does, and we're going to keep going. So the most significant medium-term goal for the department is the upgrade of our ERP system or our financial system. So our current ERP system performs all of the major finance functions of accounts payable, payroll, budgeting, and general ledger accounting. The manufacturer of our current ERP system has informed us that they will no longer be supporting the system beginning March 1st, 2027. The current system that we're on was implemented in 2003. So with this new ERP system, we're looking for some improved operating efficiencies. So we're hoping to implement paperless timekeeping, paperless accounts payable processing, and paperless purchase requisition processing. So it's estimated that this will take about 2 years, beginning with a thorough evaluation of the upgraded system in the next few months. From there, we're hoping to ask for funding as part of the budget process in 23-24, and then the implementation will take place between 23-24 and 24-25, well before the March 1st, 2027 date. On the policy and procedure side, the department plans to look at the purchasing policy and the business license code to make some incremental updates to improve the applicability of those policies and those codes. We'd like to reassess our development impact fee program to see if changes can be made where the funding can be more easily targeted to the needs of the city, and then as well as providing citywide training on the city's purchasing and accounts payable process. And then under financial management, the department plans to issue an RFP or bring to council for approval to issue an RFP to perform a hotel tax audit, so an audit of all of our hotels to verify that they're paying the correct amount of hotel tax. And then lastly, to expand our investment holdings, incrementally move from LAIF while still maintaining the priorities of our investment program of safety, liquidity, and then yield. So next up is the Information Technology Division. So in reference to Microsoft, Bill Gates stated, "We are changing the world with technology." And so I would say with technology, the city's IT team is changing the city for the better through security, solutions, connectivity, and continuous improvement. The city's IT team is made up of 3 dedicated individuals who are moving the city's IT operations forward together. And you'll see from the upcoming slides that success has taken care of it itself. Please allow me to introduce the IT team.
My name is David Swin. I'm the IT manager for the city of San Gabriel. I've been here for 7 months. I basically take care of all the computers for the city. And my favorite thing about the city is the people and the food.
My name is Sen Min. I'm the information system specialist. I'm working for City of San Gabriel almost 23 years. My job is to maintain and support the computer hardware and software. My favorite thing about the city is a Michelin Playhouse, and theater is very nice and gorgeous.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Esquivias, and I'm the Information System Specialist here with the City of San Gabriel. I have been here for a little over 5 years, and I support the IT operations here along with my colleagues. Favorite thing about the city for me has been the Blossom Hall Market.
And so here's David Swin in person. IT manager to talk about what the IT team has done and what they plan to do.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayors, and members of the council. First, that picture is not me. I'm not who that is on the video. But I want to really give a shout out to my team, my IT team, Jeremy and Jensen, who has done a phenomenal job with their dedication and with the work. So when I arrived, they knew that things about to change, and we changed very quickly. Our objective was to actually strengthen and improve the IT infrastructure of San Gabriel. So by doing so, it will make our system a lot more efficient, much more reliable, and much more secure. And the end goal to that is actually to make the system more robust, and so it has the ability to, for future growth. If we decide to add more services to the system is able to handle it. So that was our goal. That was our main goal. So what is IT infrastructure? So we broke down the IT infrastructure into 3 categories: connectivities, security, backups, systems, and operations. For connectivities, what that is that we actually recognize that in order for things to work efficiently, it has to have good communication, just like streets, roads, right? So that's very important. So what we did was we analyzed the internal network of the city and found out that the network was kind of archaic, and it wasn't well designed. So internally, we actually separated networks and introduced a 10 gig backbone to the servers. 10 gig backbones allow the information to flow a lot more quicker with a lot more volume. So that's what we put in the backbone. And on the external side, the external being the connection between the city, the police department, all the different facilities. We've actually eliminated what we call the legacy MPLS. That was very costly. Anything that is legacy, we have to actually pay extra to maintain it. So we eliminated that. We've actually upgraded fiber, 1 gig fibers in strategic locations such as City Hall, police, commuter services, playhouse, and some other areas. Now, the reason why that's important is that we are providing Wi-Fi services to the public. There's an open Wi-Fi, but without a good internet backbone, that just becomes moot point. So we recognize that, so we've actually upgraded, improved that. And then second thing, we look at security. Security is a big issue right now, just about everywhere. You probably heard of the latest hack with LAUSD. So security was the main focus, and what we wanted to do was follow the guidelines, security guidelines set forth by the federal and the state government. So one of the key highlights that the guidelines stressed was two-factor authentication. And so we've implemented two-factor authentication for remote access. So when remote users connect in, they have to provide the username, password, and a second-factor authentication. So in case your password gets hacked, you still need a second-factor authentication to be able to log in. So that was a guideline set forth by the federal government. And we upgrade our firewalls, all the areas, the Mission Palace Police, we upgrade all the firewalls, and then we bring all the traffic to a centralized location for monitoring. So now we're able to see what traffics are coming in and what traffics are going out. If we see traffics going to countries that are not friendly, then that's obviously something that we need to look at and stop right away. And then we've also upgraded antivirus software on all the computers in the city. And that is needed because this antivirus was designed strictly for preventing and mitigating ransomware. So we needed to upgrade to a newer, different software for that. And then we also created what's called high availability storage for the police and the city hall. So what happened is that the storage is housed into a server. If that one single server goes down, then that's it, we're kind of lost, right? So we created a high availability, meaning that if one server goes down, the other one kicks in without the user even knowing. And then we go and repair the one that's down. So we did that for City Hall and police to protect our data. And then in addition, we've actually created a backup plans, local backup plans, and cloud backup for disaster recovery. So in case something happens here locally, we can actually grab not just files, but the entire server from the web and restore it. And it's important that we can restore that to any devices with the technologies that we've implemented on the next headings. So from that on, we're going to talk about systems operations. So the technology I talked about when we're able to bring servers back to restore, it's called virtual server virtualization. So there's some benefits for server virtualizations. One, as you see, the ability to restore on any hardware. Secondly, when we virtualize, we are actually bringing a bunch of physical servers and condensing it, make it streamlining it. So when we do that, we do, there's a few benefits. One is reduced heating. So reduced heating, then the AC doesn't have to be on that much, so reducing power. And then obviously the server reduces power, and we reduce maintenance. So we, instead of having to maintain 5 servers, we can maintain 2, reducing cost that way. So that's what server virtualization allows us to do. And in addition, that can prepare us for what we call a business continuity plan that we're going to introduce later on. We've also moved the non-public safety, such as City Hall, into Office 365. So Office 365 was created for collaborations. Once we did that, now we allow users, staff, to work just about anywhere collaboratively, sharing data, sharing information, and communicating. So that was important for the city to move in towards that direction. And then we implemented remote support and patch management for efficiency. So IT needed to be a little bit more efficient the way it was working before. So remote support allows us to remote into each individual desktops or laptops wherever they're at to solve issues when it's needed. So they would, users would call us and we would say, all right, we're going to remote in so we can actually go in and control and fix what we can remotely. And then we've implemented the patch management system. What that does is that to ensure that all of our operating system and software are up to date against security holes, the patch management system tells us, oh, this computer needs to be patched, and we schedule it on an interval, like every 2 weeks, or if there's a critical patch that got released, we would push that out to the system automatically and overnight, so users doesn't even know it's been doing that. And in addition, we've actually upgraded our help desk software so that we're able to log it a lot more efficiently, and we implemented an inventory management system along with that. And inventory doesn't seem like important until there's a disaster we need to account for where things are at, and in case where attacks happen. So that's what we've completed during the 9 months I was here. So from there, what do we plan to do? We will still continue to look at security. We want to roll out the 2-factor authentication, not just for remote desktop, but all systems. So anytime that you log into a computer, there'll be a 2-factor authentication challenging you. So that's what we want to do per the guidelines, per federal and state guidelines. And we will do a third-party security assessments. We think that's important because we know where we're at right now, but we need to know where we need to be in the future, because security changes constantly, and we need to keep up with the changes as we go. And then we've also implemented the confidential advanced security systems, which we discussed previously in our closed meeting. And what we want to look at in the future is develop a business continuity plan for our systems. So what that is we will look at what systems are critical, which are not critical. The critical system will be part of the business continuity plan. When something happens, what is the timeline that we need to be able to restore the critical system? The plan states, all right, if something happens, we have 10 minutes to restore services with minimal data loss. So that's the plan that we're looking at to implement. And in addition, we're also looking at to implement our incident management response plan, so that when there is an incident, what steps do we need to take to restore services? What steps do we need to take to report what has happened to the federal and to the state and to any agency that is involved. And we're going to continue risk assessments for the city. And what we want to do is actually improve the education for our staff, provide them tools to be up to date on the risk that's out there. And secondly, we're looking to upgrade council chamber audio video system. Now, this upgrade has several parts. The first part is we're going to update the infrastructure in this council chamber so that we can add more technology to it. Because currently, it's not able to sustain the new technology that we want to bring in. So we want to upgrade the infrastructure, and additionally, we're looking to upgrade the cable channel. I know that there's an issue about the sound. We are actively looking at upgrading that from Charter Spectrum. So we're looking to do that right now. And then we want to complete migrating the police and the fire department to Office 365. So this will finally enable all the departments, the entire city, to communicate with one another. So there's no more silo. There's no more individual departments communicating just by themselves. We will all be able to communicate with one another. And we will continue to update our desktop. So we're looking to change from desktops to what's called a laptop model, and with a docking station. And the reason behind that was that the laptops, they used less energy, less heat, and it has a smaller IT waste footprint, right? And then also it has built into batteries and cameras that we don't have to buy extra batteries or cameras for the desktop. So we're looking to do that. And additionally, if the staff wants to work from home, they can just simply take their laptop, remotely work from home. So we're looking to look at that model, getting away from desktop, transitioning to that model. And then we wanted to upgrade the EOC IT infrastructure in the fire department. Currently, the connections are kind of old, archaic, and the connector does not support our current laptops or current devices. So if we have guests that comes in that has a newer devices, there's no way for them to connect. So we're looking to upgrade that as well for the EOC and get that prepared. And then we're going to continue to do our telecom audits. So we have some findings that we need to clean up. So we're continuing to do the audits. And then hopefully with the help of the Public Works, we can build our IT room in the McGordy's office. So we're working on that right now with the Public Works. And then lastly, we wanted to consolidate printers, scanners, and copier into one management platform. Currently, each departments are buying toners, papers, and printers and copiers separately. So we want to be able to consolidate that and perhaps get similar models across the city so that we can share accessories rather than buying one accessories for one model, one for the other model. So we're looking to see that. And lastly, we're going to finish up the Wi-Fi access point at city facilities. So currently, we've actually finished the police department. We've upgraded the Wi-Fi. We finished the community services, Mission Playhouse, the Grapevine, and we're halfway done with the City Hall. So hopefully in the next month or two, we'll finish Playhouse. And that's pretty much it. Will?
So this brings us to the end of the presentation. Thank you for your time and attention to the Finance Department update, where everybody counts. We'd also like to give a big thank you to Clara and Jessica for the help with the videos. So that we take any questions you have.
Any question? Okay.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
So, where everybody content. Okay. And we don't need a vote, right? Just receive a report. And and the next item.
This is the second opportunity for public comment. Is there anyone wishing to address council?
No. The next item. City manager report.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing tonight.
Okay. And next item, it's council comments and the conference meeting reports.
I just wanted to let everyone know that La Casa's having their dinner this Thursday, and happy to report that we're sold out. However, we're still taking donations. So one of the programs we are still taking donations for is to pay tuition for our children to attend the pre-K. So if you'd still like to participate in some way, please call our new executive director. Her name is Julieta Perez, and let her know that you're interested in sponsoring some of our children to help them attend our pre-K program.
Thank you. Okay.
Nothing to report this week.
Okay. I have some report. Okay. And okay. For this Saturday, it's October 8th, and the 9th in the Santa Anita Park race. They have the Asia 4 Festival, the celebration, 2 days. And some Chinese organization on the October 8th, the morning, have some parade show. It's show traditional Chinese the dress, or yeah, so it's more colorful. Welcome all everybody go there, and the admission it's free, 2 days event. But I suggest go Saturday morning, like I think between the 8 and 12. You can see the and Santa Anita Race Park. That's so okay. Another one, it's October 14th. That's our festival for dumpling and a beer, right? So next Friday evening. And actually, another one is related to the October 23. That's before pandemic, 2019. Our California State Legislature, especially the proposed by the Chinese American legislature for the California Chinese American Day. Okay, and recently I hear about our Governor Newsom signed the next year, the Lunar New Year would become the California holiday. Actually, it's a good news to have the 8 hours paid, the holiday. That's I hear about it. Okay, okay. So, yeah, maybe, yeah. And next year, the Lunar New Year, I think our city can continue have our own festival for our city. So that's my comments, and yeah, that's the closing session, none, and then the meeting adjourned. The next regular city council meeting will be held on Tuesday, October 18th. Yeah, meeting adjourned at let's repeat again. Okay, it's 8:50 p.m. Yeah, actually, thank you to remind it.